Hey, welcome. Today's topic of conversation is morning routine. Now, I personally think that a morning routine is super important for you to have because it will allow you to be much more productive, to get a lot of things done. I've got this fly buzzing around my face. But anyway, a morning routine is super, super important because it allows you to get things done. And so setting up your morning routine actually starts the night before. So when you are ending your workday, you need to sort of shut down your workday and transition into being a parent, a partner, a spouse, whatever it is when you go home and put on that hat of whatever task it is that you do at home. And if you work at home, as I sometimes do, it's sort of like about 4:30, 5 o'clock, I wrap up, I look at my calendar, I plan what I'm doing for the next day, and sort of make it the end of the day. And then I transition into being a partner for my husband and doing the things like the work, the cooking, and all that kind of evening, closing down the day things that we do. So a couple of the other things that I would strongly suggest for evening that helps you set up a fantastic morning routine and next day is, and this is all about 4 hours before you go to bed. No alcohol, no sugar, no white carbs, because you really want to lower your system. You want to slow it down. You don't want to get it all jazzed up on sugar. And you may say, but Lee, alcohol helps me relax. It's like, yes, I know it does. But then it also converts to sugar. So you get that alcohol after effect later on, and it just wires you up. And the same with the carbs, and the same with the sugars. It keeps you going, and you're like going, going, going. And also caffeine. Like no caffeine after 2 o'clock if you want a good night's sleep. So that's one of the important things for setting up your morning routine is a good night's sleep. Sleep cool. If you can, keep your room cool if possible. That's like, we're summertime here now, and we do not have air conditioning, so our room gets warm sometimes. So we use fans. But for us, it's only a very short period of time. So, keep your routine, go to bed at the same time. Here's the other thing I want you to limit, your screen time. So my phone shuts off at 7 o'clock. Unless it's an emergency from certain select people, I get no text messages, I see no email, I see nothing on my phone. And I like it that way. Plus it goes to yellow. So most of the newer phones now, you can switch them from the blue daylight to a yellow, which helps you wind down so that you're not exposing your brain to blue light, which when your eyes see blue light, your brain's like, oh, it's time to be active. We got to get going. So be sure you put it in nighttime mode, and you can also do a dark mode. A lot of phones nowadays do dark modes. So you're going to bed at the same time. You need to get up at the same time. And weekends, I know sometimes it's nice to have a little lay in and sleep in a bit, but only for an hour. That's it, an hour. Don't make your in bed time longer on the weekends than it is during the week, because then you sort of get jet lag. You're sort of giving yourself some jet lag, and that's why you feel tired on Monday. If you stayed up late Friday, slept in on Saturday, stayed up late Saturday, slept in on Sunday, and probably stayed up late Sunday because you're starting to get into that mode, you have jet lag come Monday. So try to keep yourself in a routine. Kids like their routines. Our human bodies like their routine. Our adult bodies like our routines. So we're getting up at the same time every day. Now here's what I do. This works for me, and I know other people do variations on this routine. I get up and walk in the morning. I have to move. Some people do like yoga or stretch in the morning in their house. I like to get outside. I have a dog. We go out for a walk, and half hour to an hour is usually what we do. And I find that sets my day. And while I'm walking, and because we are up at 4, it's dark most times of the year, and I can start doing my affirmations. And your affirmations are, I am healthy, I am success, I am loved. Whatever you need to be reaffirming and working on for your dreams, you should be saying while you're walking. So I've got my whole routine of while I walk. It's almost a walking meditation and affirmations. When I get back, I drink my water. I also drink some water just right after I get up. So I make sure I have a pint of water probably within the first 2 hours of getting up. And then that second time, I'm starting to roll around into my second pint of water, because it's super, super important that you get your water. And the easiest way to figure out how many ounces of water, and this is for the US, there is a method for the rest of the world that does metric, but let me start with the US. It's your weight, take your weight, divide it in half, and that's the number of ounces of water you should drink a day. So I did that for me, and I have a pint glass, a beer, like a beer mug, beer glass, that sits on the counter, and I know I need 6 of those a day, and that works. You know, some days it's 7, some days it's 8. It depends on how hot it is and what other fluids I've had. And then if you're a metric, I believe it's you take your weight in kilograms, and I think if you cut that one in half, that should be about right. You can play with it and play with the formulas. So after I'm back from my walk, I do my exercises. So I do resistance work. Some days it's weights. Some days I do core work. Keep your core strong, because your core muscles are what hold you up. That's how you stand up, how you walk. So you have to keep your muscles strong, and it works to be doing resistance work. And you can use the big old rubber bands. You can use the bands with handles. I also have a set of kettlebells that I like to work with, and I alternate that with core work, doing my sit-ups, doing work on the exercise ball, and my floor work and my stretching, because you need to maintain your stretching. And then the other little thing I like to add in is balance, whether you're working on a wobble pad, a wobble board, just something so that you're doing some working and balance work on an uneven surface, because that's super important for your ears and your brain to keep that skill alive. After I've done my workout, I then meditate, and I meditate for a half hour. But if you're new to meditation, you know, like 10 minutes is great, and it will seem difficult at first. You're going to be like, Lee, my mind is wandering, and I catch it wandering, and that's great. If you catch your mind wandering, that is huge. Those are your first steps towards actually achieving a meditation practice. And it takes time. You just have to keep doing it. It's like any other habit. You just keep working on it, and you will soon become better and better. And truthfully, I have my good days and I have my bad days. There's some days I have a beautiful, perfect meditation, and there are other days where it's just like, we may as well go drink coffee right now because it ain't working. So that's okay. That's normal. So after I get up, I walk, I drink my water, I exercise, I meditate, then I journal. And, you know, Julia Cameron in her Artist's Way talks about doing the morning pages, and she says 3 pages a day. And you could do 3 pages. Depends on, you know, some days I do 3 pages, some days I do 2, and it just doesn't really matter. You can write in a teeny tiny journal if that's what makes you happy, or a larger one, or a really big one. It doesn't matter. And just write about mundane things in your life, but also write about your dreams. And I use my journaling time to reassert my affirmations and my dreams and goals. So I'm writing out all my goals as if they are happening right now in present tense, because I just find that helps me. It helps me stay on track and keep things going. The other thing you need to do every day, and I like to do a little bit in the morning, and you can do it with an audiobook or with a regular book or on your Kindle or your phone or whatever, is read a bit. Just read something that's nonfiction and educating you and, you know, moving you towards your goal so that you are learning something every day. And then one important little thing for overall is your diet. And I touched on that when you starting your day the night before and not eating certain things at night. And do know that what you eat affects everything in your body, because that is the fuel, that is the building blocks of how your brain works, how your muscles work. You know, if you have acne or not on your face or other parts of your body, it's all related to your diet and to stress. So try to eat foods that don't stress your body. And that's a whole different topic, which we'll go into at some point. But just know that some foods, like particularly sugar, carbs, and other foods, can be very inflammatory towards your body. And some of that depends on your genetic makeup. So what may work for me doesn't work for somebody else, and vice versa. So just try to eat healthy, eat some plants every day, you know, eat your way around the color wheel and eat quality foods. So I'm Lee Kellogg. Thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. do click subscribe and the little bell down below so that the bell will give you notifications as to when I post a new video. And subscribe means you'll always see these programs showing up on your playlist on YouTube. And thank you very much.